Hi, first test of the system. And it's still prototype, okay? I still have wooden parts and loose. Look at that. You see that? That's a tiny little pinhole because that's a starter motor. This is the main diesel engine right here. So that little exhaust is for the generator for the electricals. This is the exhaust. I could use a little more fan, what you think? Not sure what I'm set at these days, but I should be able to adjust these outside. That's why I wanted to build this, so I could test them on the outside. I have to be able to get this calibrated from sitting out. Hopefully I can. Sheesh. I just got a blast. Okay, let's try that. Here we are at 60 miles an hour. Screaming along with all our stuff. Now I'm going to go up to 90. Going up to 90. Should be blowing the other way, wouldn't you think? At 90. Okay, there's 100. There's flat out. There's 15 volts. What do you think we got at 15 volts? I think it's okay. I'm going to take it back down to 60, let it cool off. Take it back down to 60 and let it cool off. This is a prototype manifold. I cannot believe it. It's wooden. It's a wooden tie that I routed out like a canoe. And look, we're getting a little smoke out the back, the little back engine. So fun. Well, that's at 60, and it still looks pretty healthy. I'm going to take it down to 30 and see what happens. It might really drop off here at 30. The fan speed is going to cool the heater down considerably here. That's been one of my challenges on the steam engines. Wow, that looks pretty good at 30 miles an hour. Okay. Well, who wants to see the magic? Does anybody want to know what's inside? Maybe. Maybe not. I'm thrilled. I'm thrilled. 30 miles an hour with this Alco steam sounds coming out, this smoke coming out. Might have to put an on-off button. Moms are going to get, you know what, here. Okay, well, I'm going to turn this off, and I will turn it over. A lot of wires. It's all inside. Told you. Oh, dropped it. This is the fan system you've been seeing. I've strapped it in where the base of the chassis would mount. Okay. If you can look down this side here, get a pointer maybe and help me. There's a piece of wood is black railroad tie, and I just rounded the edges. There's some what you call foam tape, right? It's double stick tape on both sides. I put a red exhaust pipe. You know how the steam engines have that little red plastic pipe in there? But I cut it in half. So I use that as my guide to find that hole in there. So it slides inside the wood, but there's still a gap. And then this wood actually is in cockeyed. You can't tell it, but the little piece of wood that's in there goes like this. It goes to this corner, and it's in this corner here. It goes like this, and it's here is this outlet. So the piece of wood goes like this. If I have one here, I could show you. I should have railroad ties laying around. I use them for all kinds of things. Hold on. All right. This is not the railroad tie. This is the real part. This is the part I made. It's going to replace the railroad tie. As you can see, it's just a tray. It's an empty box, more or less, with no lid. Sorry. No lid on it. But what happens is, I set it so that it's centered over that hole and that hole, you see. Okay? And underneath, it's like this, all right? So it connects those two openings. Then, under this side, there's a hole. And the fan, the smoke system is sandwiched here with that foam tape. So up against the bottom of these holes, it's sealed here, and it's pushing the smoke out into this cavity. So as it goes into this cavity, there's a fan blade that's pushing the air out. It goes out through the path of least resistance. So some goes out here, but most of it runs down the track, finds this big hole, and goes out, as you saw. So this is the manifold I talked about, and it has one inlet right here, and the outlet is here, but I'm using the train body to make the other half of this, and I'm using the foam tape with a hole in it to seal it. It's working beautifully, as you saw. And now to hold the smoke, I didn't want the smoke to be flopping around. I was worried about how am I going to make this alignment when I assemble it, make sure if it's bolted to the bottom, what the heck. So I've got the red exhaust tip in that hole, so I know that's lined up. I straddle these two mounts. I just put this on to hold it for me for this test for you, okay? This would not be there. The conventional chassis, see here? This chassis would come along, and those two holes are right here. Right there, those two holes. So that's what would hold that down, that smoke. So now, on the power boards, the volt regulator boards, they will fit right down here, just like that. You see how that one fit? I can get this one down. But my trick now is I have to get them adjusted before I can stick them in here to make sure, like we just saw. I thought it was pretty good balance, low speed, high speed. So now, if that goes in there, this is flush. You see that? That's pretty flush with the back of those tubes, and this is now the control board. And you know this, we've had this in here. Control board slips in that way, also up from the bottom, right? This square, I didn't get the soundboard today. It's on its way to me from Chicago. The soundboard fits right, fits right there. So I got the control board, the soundboard, the smoke. Can you believe it? Then, right, the volt regulators. Ow! Stabbed my finger. Then, the only thing that's missing is the speaker. Can you believe it? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 components. Yeah, I cut my finger and it's bleeding. Hey, yo. Okay. I got to run the light. I want to put in these lights. I've got an idea for a tiny, tiny green light. And what I've done is I drill this out, tiny hole, and I shove in fiber optic, which is just like a glass, solid glass, round piece of glass, solid. I stick that in there, polish this end, and then on the back end, I glue a very bright, tiny little green light emitting diode. It's just a tiny little thing, but it glows like a star, green, bright green. So you have the green running lights. This is the headlight. That'll be another LED, bright white. And then I'm thinking about ditch lights. I don't know. This thing has been cut away for that, you know, the coupler, front coupler. I guess it's going to have one. Anyway, that's that. And then in this area above the speaker, here's the chassis, right? I got to worry about this pin, right, sticking up, but this is my space. This is it. Well, that looks nice, doesn't it? That new pickup. Wow. Oh, and then with this, I don't need this capacitor, or I'll get a smaller one, and I'm fine with tucking that in the back here. So, what do you know, Joe? Just got back from the rodeo. Oh, Mr. Hillis, where are you? I don't really want to assemble it, but I just want to show you I could if I wanted to. I could assemble it just like that. Look at that. It all fits. This fits in here. That goes along the top. I'm going to insulate all of this with pretty severe plastic, okay? Worst case, this chassis is pushed down to the rails about 1 or 2 millimeters. Not even, you know, you won't know it. The wiring is going to be a challenge, but I do that all the time, so I'm not worried about it. I don't know if I'll have room for a cab up there or not. That'll be fun though, wouldn't it? Well, okay, that's the show. We are so close. I wanted to get this smoke figured out. I wanted to make sure it was rock solid. I wanted it to fit and not be a crazy, you know, flippy floppy. Where is it? It's not in a hole. There's no smoke coming out. What happened? You know, I wanted to make sure it was absolutely foolproof. Lines up every time. No challenges. This seems to be hitting on something. Oh, maybe. Oh, I know. This is a little cockeyed. There we go. Maybe that's better. Well, I'll get to it. There we go. There we go. Now I've got them both in there. They're facing each other. I just need to have something between them. Probably a piece of plastic. So they're separated, and I don't need them touching that motor either, okay? We'll figure it out. It'll be fine, okay? It'll be just fine. I know it will be. I'll make it just fine. How's that? So, controller, soundboard, smoke regulators, speaker. I don't think I'm missing anything. I mean, I could be, but I was missing the smoke the other day. I thought, oh yeah, this is all gonna fit. Dumb butt. Okay, I'm happy. I'm really happy. It's 5:30. You know what? At 5:30, she who must be obeyed yells at me and tells me, it's 5:30. You who must obey me. No, she doesn't talk that way. Just once in a while. Okay. Well, good day. Go back and look at the beginning because that was smoking, okay? And then you'll feel better. All right, gang. Tomorrow's another day. Keep chugging. Never say die. We are going to have the Comet What Am. It will be the F466, mind you. The Frankentrain 466. Oh boy. Okay, that's it. Later.